Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. I have with me Sri T G Mohandas today, and we are going to discuss the evolving situation in Kerala. You all might have seen that one video of a barely 10-year-old boy shouting slogans calling for death to Christians and Hindus. And this video has now been withdrawn, has been told that we should not be showing it, so we are not going to show it to you, but it was there. It went viral yesterday. So this incident happened in Alleppey, not in Mallapuram or Malappuram or in Kozhikode or Kasaragod, where they are in significant numbers. Alleppey is a very, very small but significant chunks where Muslims are in Kerala, and this is where it happened. To understand how this has been degrading over a period of time, and add the fact that the political scenario in Kerala is not very good, let us welcome Sri T G Mohandas ji and listen to him because he has the feet on the ground. Mohandas ji, namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel.
Namaste. So happy to meet you again. With,
Thank you, sir.
Not so happy news. I don't have any happy news to share, but I am happy to meet you. That's all.
Well, we have to tell the story as it is. And many of you have been reading my book, Who Painted My Money White? And half the people initially at least used to, I don't know if it was paid or what, they used to say, this is all lies, nothing happened like this. And now you are seeing, it's actually more than what I painted in my book. My book is just giving you a drop in the ocean. And you know, why? So there is something people are covering up. And I just want Sri Mohandas ji to start with this event, go back and forth, back and forward in time, sir. I leave the floor to you because you understand the dangers Kerala faces and through that the Bharat faces. So take it away, sir.
See, the Muslim population in Kerala has crossed almost 40% now, according to me. That is visible on the roads also. You see, previously you could not identify people on the road. You cannot identify their religion. If there is a tilak, you can broadly categorize that man or woman as Hindu. But even Christians were wearing tilaks, especially ladies. Now, Muslims have got a separate dress code, which they have almost 100% they have enforced on their women. And around 60% or so, men also dress in a particular manner so that you can identify he is a Muslim. With that, I'm telling you, and the census figures of 2011, at that time their share was around 28 or 32%. Now it has definitely crossed after 11 years. It has definitely crossed 40%. Therefore, they can organize this type of demonstrations anywhere in Kerala. Now in Alleppey, what happened? They chose Alleppey purposely because they have a very strong presence in that district also. People have a general feeling that Alleppey is a peaceful, communist-dominated district. Now, Popular Front has given the message to everybody that Alleppey is not a communist district; it is a Muslim district. They can do whatever they want in Alleppey also. They did it in Ernakulam district. They did it in Thrissur district. The first was Kozhikode district. Kasaragod followed. Palakkad followed. They have been doing this for past several years. Even this time also, ever since the advent of social media, they are getting publicity for whatever good or bad they are doing. That is how we could see this video. I don't know who prevented you from flashing that video. I don't know.
There's a court order, sir. There's a court order.
But it is.
We got by Twitter, and we will give you an explanation. We we could only do it by hiding the face of the child, and we tried to render it without the child's face. Was taking us too long, so we couldn't make it in time for this recording. That's what the thing is. Please
Oh,
continue, sir.
okay, that's okay. Anyway, I don't think anybody is there who has not seen that video. That video is taking rounds in WhatsApp also. The court cannot do a damn thing about WhatsApp or other sharing. They can only ask the established web portals like PGurus not to publish it, but individuals will go on sharing it. So I don't think anybody who has not seen that video. The video contains only this much: a crowd, a dancing crowd, violently dancing crowd, a father with his 9 or 10 years boy on his sitting on his shoulders, and the boy is shouting slogans in which the boy is telling, behave yourself, behave yourself, behave yourself. Otherwise, we know what to do. That means you will be killed. And who will be killed? He is giving a subtle hint that better you buy rice and flowers or kundirikam. Kundirikam is one thing which you can smoke for, fragrance. The Christian used to smoke it when their dead body is displayed for publicly placed for, for various funeral rites, conducting rites. During that period, they will be smoking this kundirikam. It is the soup of pine tree or something like that. There is a name in English also, gottlieb or something like that. I don't remember it. Anyway, that is the thing during death, after death they use. So it was a clear indication that Hindus and Christians better prepared to die. And he says, your Kalan is coming. Kalan means Yamaraj. Your Yamaraj is coming. So better you buy all these things and be prepared to die. That is the slogan, which is, they have their own tuning and a particular rhythm of that their slogan. All this similar to what they did in Kashmir, and then subsequently in Jawaharlal Nehru University. And this boy shouts that if you don't behave yourself, we know the path of Azadi. I mean, the word Azadi has a different meaning now. Ever since the JNU incident, the word Azadi has taken a sinister meaning. It is a threatening meaning. So this was what happened in Alleppey. It is half of Kerala's popular front strength they displayed in Alleppey. That means from Trichur to south up to Trivandrum. So many buses they booked, and they came by bus without paying any toll. That video also has come out. Nowhere they paid toll in the national highway. They threatened the toll people. Police was watching helplessly. Only one policeman tried to challenge them. He was shouted down. The administration miserably failed, and they swam like bees in Alleppey. This is what happened. And what was the so-called innocent ordinary Muslims in Alleppey were doing? They all left their houses to see the demonstration of popular front, silently watching. See, when a demonstration is going on, when both sides of the roads are filled with people, the demonstrators feel their satisfaction that our demonstration is successful, because the particular targeted community has assembled in huge numbers on both sides of the road. This I call complicity by silence. I think it was Napoleon who said, if I am wrong, I stand corrected. Napoleon once said, it's not the violence of the minority which is the problem. The problem is the silence of the majority. So here majority is silent. Muslims always say that no, few fundamentalist people, they create some nuisance, and you cannot blame the whole Muslim community for this. I would like to tell them, remind them politely that by your silence, you are complicit in this crime. In a criminal case, you may not be culpable, but you are responsible. I don't practice caste system as a Hindu. Therefore, I am not culpable. But for the caste system in my society, I am responsible. I cannot shirk the responsibility. Likewise, in Muslim community also, if your people are going berserk, they are becoming fundamentalists, they take arms against the state and the nation, they create trouble in the society, they spew venom and hatred against other communities, then it is your duty to silence them or condemn them publicly, which the majority is not doing. Therefore, what happens is the minority is encouraged by the silence of the majority. And what about the Hindu and Christian groups? They are also by and large silent. Politicians are silent. Now, you know why? Because 40% of consolidated vote is not a joke. Though it is scattered, it is 40% still. Out of which this Popular Front, a major chunk will be taken by Muslim League, but Popular Front will retain around 10 to 15% scattered throughout Kerala. And politicians need this vote. Everybody, including BJP, I am telling you. One day BJP will also become silent. Now they are making some mandatory noise, nothing more than that, no actions on the ground. But what I could collect from intelligence agencies that in the coming weeks, it will be a very tough scenario for Popular Front. Some of their leaders are already in trouble, and central agencies are collecting further evidence so that these people can be sent behind bars. But the action is yet to be seen on the ground. Yes, sir.
So we are going to show that video now. We have got the face masked. So can we have that video played, please, for those who have not watched it? Read the subtitles.
İnşallah, inşallah ortu bachcho sangigale. İnşallah, inşallah ortu bachcho sangigale. Pakistanilum babula, Bangladeshilum babula. Pakistanilum babula, Bangladesh.
All right, people, you get the idea, and it just my blood boils when I see this stuff. To coach somebody who's barely able to read and write, to be able to articulate this with the kind of violence that the kid is spewing, and the father is proudly turning him 360 degrees so everybody can see him. Shame on these people. Just a couple of things, Mohandas ji. Some of them have been taken into custody since this thing surfaced, isn't it? So let us just finish that and then go back to our overall narrative. Please update us on what happened after that.
See, my information is that 3 people were arrested, and they are in sub-jail or district jail in Alleppey at present. And today evening there was a big protest in front of the jail gate to get these people released. I don't know How can somebody protest in front of jail gate and get somebody released? But that is the way Islamic fundamentalists work. They may even break open the jail and take their people out. This news is being totally blackened out by mainstream media. And social media also, see, people have to assemble, take photograph or video, and then start sharing it. It takes time, at least few hours. So by today night or tomorrow morning, we will know exactly what has happened. Now, anyone will say that.
One small request, sir. Viewers,
Yeah.
I really need your help here. You need to like these programs as soon as they start airing. What is happening in Kerala today could be very well happening in your backyard tomorrow. This is going unchecked. For some reason, Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi and their government is trying to still locate the spine. I'm saying, I'm not mincing any words here, to try and curb this menace. We've been saying this for a long time. It is no longer a joke. In fact, in my book, I explained a very similar scenario, and the book is already 2.5 years old now. And these incidents have been happening for 10 years. It doesn't matter if the bloody crook has committed a murder. There'll be 1,000 people coming and sitting and standing and shouting slogans, whether it is a high court or the police station. What happened to the rule of law? What are you doing, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan? Where are you? Are you in India or in US? Anyway, this is a ludicrous situation that is happening, and please help us, because every Bharatiya, every Sanatani, everyone needs to see this move, this hangout, because we are going to divulge more details and it is going to chill your spine. Mohandas, please continue. Thank you.
Yeah. So, see, the boy is obviously ignorant. He doesn't even know the importance of what he is shouting. He's of the age of 9 or 10. But the way he is shouting the slogans so fluently, without even looking at a paper, means the boy was trained at least for 6 months. 6 months he has been repeating these words, and then he by-hearted it, and sitting on the shoulders of his father, he is shouting. And even his raising of his hands and pointing finger, everything is trained. No boy of 9 or 10 age will do such dramatics unless he is trained by his parents. And these people are to be here. I will not blame government of India, because primarily the law and order function belongs to state. Government of India doesn't have any police under their control. They have only military. And you cannot send in military at the drop of a hat merely because somebody shouted a slogan.
Sir, how long ago did you ask for AFSPA to be imposed in Kerala, sir? It was on a hangout on PGurus.
That was in 2014.
And why?
And that was for different reasons and in a different district. But then in that district,
a beginning has to be made. My point, Mohandas ji, is that a beginning has to be made. Please continue.
Yes. Yes, a beginning has to be made. Beginning definitely has to be made. I'm still, I am for applying AFSPA in various parts in Kerala, for which a case is to be built up by Government of India. And I have reasonable information that they are on the job. But maybe bureaucracy takes its own time, or intelligence takes its own time. They don't want to be trigger happy or something like that. They may have their own justification. Anyway, I'll not go into that. But what is happening in on this side is tutoring children is a phenomena, a technique which is being used, which was used by Velupillai Prabhakaran. He used children as a protective wall. And all Islamic organizations, they have started using children, be it Hamas in Palestine, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Indian Mujahideen, or other terrorist organizations in Kashmir. They give stones to small kids to throw to our military, so that you are helpless. You cannot do anything because it is a child. So this child jihad, which was there throughout the world, has come to Kerala also. Now you see a situation has developed wherein you cannot arrest that boy because he is below 12 years. You maximum what you can do is you can take him to a juvenile justice home and advise him, that's all. But the man who, his father who is carrying him and the people who are shouting, corroborating the slogan, they can be arrested under Juvenile Justice Act. All those people, police know them, the video is there. Now you can video match people and then arrest them, which you did it while doing in Shabarimala, you know. The very same scene was there in Shabarimala. A father who lifted his son on his shoulders, and father and son together shouted, Swami Sharamayyappa. And they both were arrested by this Pinarayi Vijayan just for calling Swami Sharamayyappa, saying it is a political slogan, it is against Supreme Court judgment, etc. And the boy and his father was arrested. But this boy and his father, they are roaming free. See Pinarayi Vijayan's administration. Therefore, a situation has come, every political party is either openly or subtly helping Popular Fund in building their organization and spreading their tentacles. All this is happening because their population, number of their people have increased leaps and bounds in previous years. They have all sorts of connections. And you see, after the Hathras rape in UP, maximum people arrested were from Kerala. Why is it so? After Hathras incident, there was a big conspiracy to unleash caste violence inside Uttar Pradesh. They collected finance, and almost everything is identified now. I think around 7 or 8 people who were part of that conspiracy has been arrested by UP police and Enforcement Directorate, that too from Kerala. And those who are arrested in Mathura border, they were also basically Keralites. They were residents of Delhi, but they were Keralites. Anywhere in India, if you take a terrorist-related case, there will be a Kerala connection. Either arms are supplied from Kerala, or money is supplied, material is supplied, manpower is supplied, planning is supplied. Something, somewhere you will have a Kerala connection throughout India, whichever be the state, whichever be the terrorist incident, there will be a Kerala connection. Because Kerala is not the hub of Islamic terrorist activity, it is the headquarters of Islamic terrorist activity. Take it from me. That is why there are no major explosions or bomb attacks in Kerala by Islamic fundamentalists, because nobody will create trouble in their headquarters. Headquarters is to be kept always peaceful. Now you see, no weapons were displayed by Popular Front in this rally, but they raised dangerous slogans. Maryadaki Jivicho means behave yourself. And he repeats it 4 times. Maryadaki Jivicho, 4 times. Behave yourself. And what does he say? If you don't behave yourself, we know what to do. And the next line is Yavaraj is coming. So connect these dots and understand the meaning of that. But still, there was no violence. They didn't attack anybody. They didn't attack any shop. They didn't have any even small altercation with police. Why? Because it is their headquarters. Now, why they are agitated? Because 3 people are reportedly arrested by Kerala police is that it is thanklessness by Pinarayi Vijayan. He should not arrest. Why to arrest? If you want to arrest somebody, you arrest somebody who is agitating for Shabarimala. They are poor people. You can arrest them. You can remand them for months together. You can dismiss them from government service. Whatever you want, you can do, but don't touch us. Touching us will be too costly for Pinarayi Vijayan. That is the message Popular Front is giving now. And Pinarayi Vijayan will surrender. Take it from me, he will surrender. Communist Party has become helpless now because in every branch, in every area, in every position, jihadis have taken the strategic positions within CPM. So CPM is unable to do anything. They can fret and fume, that is all. They can shout in their bedrooms, nothing more than that. They will not say a single word against jihad. Congress will not say a single word against jihad. Congress leader today said that we don't need votes from people like Popular Front. What does it mean? You don't need votes. Who are you to say that? See, voting is a secretly done thing. You cannot force somebody to vote you or not to vote you. So this is a foolish statement, intellectually foolish statement. He says, oh, we don't need their votes. But what is your reaction on what is happening in the ground? About the slogan, which a 10-year-old was shouting and 10,000 people were shouting with him. There is no response from Congress, nothing from the political spectrum, except the mandatory noise from BJP. And, before the Popular Front show, there was a show in the name of Bajrang Dal, Shaurya Rally or something like that. And around 1,500 bikers were there in that rally. It quietly passed through Alleppey, nothing happened, no provocative slogans, nothing. This also took place in May 21st. And the day May 21st was the day 𝙬𝙬𝙬 was received by Stalin. The biggest ever terrorist incident in India was the death of Rajiv Gandhi. And that fellow was hugged by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister on May 21st. And on May 21st, in Kerala, strange things are happening. And I think May 21st was the day on which Rajiv Gandhi died.
Yeah.
It was May
Poetic 21st. Injustice.
Yeah. So May 21st is a historical day for India now. On May 21st, 𝙬𝙬𝙬 becomes a VIP. On May 21st, Kerala Hindus and Christians are asked to behave properly, otherwise get killed. And on May 21st, initially, Rajiv Gandhi was, in an explosion, he lost his life. So these are all things which happened on May 21st. I think, I don't know if that is a bad omen or something like that. But coming back to Kerala situation.
So just one small thing to add to what you just said. People don't really, India is incapable of completing an investigation properly. The condition under which Rajiv Gandhi was allowed to address that rally was that nobody shall garland him. There was supposed to be a 20-foot separation between the stage and the audience. And as soon as Rajiv Gandhi arrives on the stage, some incompetent nincompoop, some rascal from the Congress party goes to the mic and says, whoever wants to garland Rajiv Gandhi can come and do so. Aren't these people idiots? Did they ever try to trace that rascal? Wasn't he complicit in this murder? In fact, there is also a rumor that Stalin was addressing a meeting in Chennai. I believe Mylapore area. The area could be wrong. He said, I think around 8 p.m. or so, he told everyone to go home early tonight. Something big is going to happen. This is on record. Same bloody Stalin. How low have we descended, guys? And now you let off one of the killers and they will try and their best to get every one of those remaining 6 also to come out. What is wrong with us? Please continue, sir.
See, what is wrong with us? This is absence of nationalism. You see, you have seen people agitating for so many things. For Ramajanma Bhoomi, now for Kashi temple, for Shabarimala, then for Krishna Janmabhoomi. All these things are happening. But when the Supreme Court freezed Section 124A of Indian Penal Code, that is one section which prevents anti-national activities. That section was freezed by Supreme Court. And I don't find anybody's reaction on that. No one reacted. Why? Because we don't care for the nation. We care for the temple, we care for the rituals, we care for individuals, we care for sentiments, but we don't care for the nation. Nation is at the mercy of some Supreme Court judge or some awkward politician. Somehow, thank God, Indian military is there and we are getting a good sleep. Otherwise, even that would have been lost. See, nationalism is something which doesn't originate automatically in a man's mind. From childhood, you have to teach them the importance of the nation. Why you are a Hindu or a Christian, whatever it is, above that, it has to be your nation. Nation has to be your first concern. This type of teaching, nursing, and tutoring has to take place in this country. People tell me that in America, you can burn the American flag. It's true. But someone in America told me that you go through their school syllabus. They fill you with America. Every child is filled with America. After that, you are so confident about your country that if somebody is burning your country's flag, you will not be perturbed. Tell me, sir.
So I just want to add one more thing, that any event that takes place in a school involving more than the school itself, like if it is a meeting, like a debate competition or a game, like a basketball game, all these things, they start with the chanting of the national anthem. It is mandatory. Everybody has to chant it. Whether you chant it or not, it's up to you. But the event will not start without the national anthem being sung. This is, sir, in America, I'll also tell you, people wear undergarments with the flag. That doesn't bother them, because in their hearts, they know what they are. And this is something that India really, really needs to get ingrained from the very, very young age. Please continue, sir.
And that is what we teach our people, whatever is wrong with India. We have become, if I borrow words of Mahatma Gandhi, we have become gutter inspectors. Every nation will have a gutter wherein all sorts of dirty things will flow. We open the gutter and we teach our children, look, there was caste system. Look, there was slavery. Look, there was sati. Look, there was this thing, that thing. All ये सब हो चुका है some 500 years, 1500 years back. Everything has gone. But you don't teach them the real history. How many Tamilians now know about Veerapandya Kattabomman? There was a picture which I saw in Shivaji Ganesan was acting as Veerapandya Kattabomman. Thereafter, I don't see any national figure or people like Kattabomman appearing in Tamil cinema. There was Kappalotiya Tamilan. Nothing is there in Tamil Nadu now. All sorts of nonsensical films are coming. And film is a good method of passing your idea to generations. It was doing so. Now you see one Kashmir files, what a change it made in the mindset of the people. So people are ready to become nationalists, but somehow the administration is, they are a little bit afraid of changing the syllabus. And I think our HRD minister once proudly say that we have not even changed one syllable in our syllabus. Oh, what a great!
Gladly, he is no longer the HRD minister.
It's good that he is no longer HRD minister. But you see, it reveals a particular mindset that the left is always right. The West is always right. The East has to be wrong. This type of mentality is there in every group. He may belong to BJP or Shiv Sena or even Vishwa Hindu Parishad or even RSS, but his mindset doesn't change that fast. So this education is to be imparted initially. Now, how the jihadis are using that boy against the nation, supposing the very same boy was imparted nationalism, he will be shouting slogans in praise of India with the same fervor. It's a small child, just like Hitler once told, you give me a 5 years old boy and tell me what shall I make out of him? I can make a terrorist out of him, a scientist out of him, a musician out of him, whatever you want, I can convert him. But give me him before the age of 5. This is what reported in the press, what Hitler said. That is true. Before the age of 5, if you start teaching people good things, they will invariably become good citizens. Otherwise, not. This is what is happening in Kerala. Every national figure was demolished and ridiculed, including Mahatma Gandhi. People use Mahatma Gandhi for as if he is a toothpaste. Whenever you need it, you can use it and brush your teeth and then throw away. Spit it. That is how Mahatma Gandhi is used. That is how Narayan Guru is being used. Everybody will use them, but I mean, whitening their teeth. That's all. Nothing more than that. So this type of education system, coupled with anti-national teaching, see, one side there is no pull, but the other side there is tremendous push also. So in which direction a generation will go? A generation will go the jihadi direction. That is what is happening in Kerala. It is a very dangerous situation. But with all said and done, I don't think Kashmir will repeat in Kerala. Not because Islamic terrorists are refined people, but because of the terrain of Kerala. The Kashmir is sharing border with Pak-occupied Kashmir, and Pakistan can directly enter. But it is very difficult to enter Kerala. You have to enter through seas. And it is heavily guarded by Indian Navy and Coast Guard. So it is very difficult to enter Kerala. You try to enter from east, there are this Western Ghat. It is very difficult. There are established paths wherein police or military can block you. Now, in 1995, at least in 1995 was my first information, in Muslim mosque, they gave a direction that if there is some property for sale on both sides of national highway, you must purchase it at any cost. If you are unable to purchase it, inform the mosque, we will arrange for the purchase of it. For the simple reason that it is through the national highway which the military is going to reach anywhere in India. Therefore, if you want to block military, Indian military, then you have to purchase land from both sides of the national highway. This they started campaigning from 1995. Ab kitne saal ho gaye? So almost every piece of land on both sides of national highway in Kerala is the actual owners. If you go to the registry, you will see that it is owned by Muslims. Simply they purchase the land and they may not use it, but it is in their name. Therefore, you want to increase the width of the national highway, the biggest objection comes from Muslims, especially from Malappuram district. Because naturally, it is their land which is going to be acquired, so they shout. This is, see, it's a long-term planning by jihadis, which has culminated in Alleppey incident, and this is only a small demonstration. I urge there are going to be bigger things happening in Kerala, and nobody will ask Hindus to vacate Kerala. Chaliv, Galiv or Reliv, nothing is going to happen. Hindus will automatically vacate. You need not exhort through the mosque. because life will become difficult and people will leave to Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Mostly Karnataka, because Tamil Nadu is going to be another Kashmir. It is on sitting on a volcano. I know the situation of Tamil Nadu also. Unless some drastic steps are, fundamental steps are taken in Tamil Nadu, it is also been in a dangerous shape. Thank you.
Well, viewers, all I can tell you is that many are probably hearing this for the first time. Please do us a favor. Don't just tune off after this program. Please share this link to all your friends and relatives. And you can now start observing in the streets of any big city who is selling vegetables, who is selling fruits. You can start finding a pattern now. And this is something that was made obvious to me in the recent trip that I was in India, when I was actually traveling quite a bit. So whatever you said, Mohandas ji, is also being carried out along other national highways in other states, sir. Because the formula has not been broken. It is continuing. In fact, if anything, it is picking up. Where did they get all the money for this? Read my book, Who Painted My Money White? I'm not saying this to sell my book. I'm saying this because you deserve to know the truth. If you don't know the truth, you are the ones who are going to be slow cooked. In fact, you are already being slow cooked. So please do me a favor and share this link to all your friends and family. And we are going to try and get Sri Mohandas ji back in a few weeks' time, because the legal process is going to take some time, and we will see what is going to develop out of this. Mohandas ji, with your permission, can I ask a few questions from our viewers?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First question, please. Mr. Lee wants to know, is it legally possible to create an Indic Sanatani Sanskrit school board independent of CBSE, ICSE state board? Isn't this faster than waiting for NCERT to change textbooks?
It is possible you can create a school, but you must get recognition from the government. That is the problem. Anybody can teach anything. There is no bar on that. But who will issue the official certificate? You want to enter a college. You want to show that I have passed the 10th class or whatever, SSC or SSLC, what we say, for which you need a government affiliation. That is difficult. Just like Muslim madrasas. Overnight, all madrasas were recognized as schools. And therefore, if you study in a madrasa, it is equivalent to studying in a secular, ordinary government or private school. But if you start an Indic school, I don't know who will recognize that. That is the problem. Otherwise, you can run a school. Many people are running Vedic Vidyalayas, etc. But that is all informal education. If you want to become formal, then you need permission from state governments or even central government. That is how the normal schools are working. There are two streams. Education being in the concurrent list of the constitution. Center can also have institutions. State also can have. That is why Kendriya Vidyalaya, CBSE, ICSE, these are all central government approved schools. Other schools are state government approved schools. All these schools, if you pass the 10th class or 12th class, you can join a degree anywhere in India. But if you don't have that recognition, then nobody will give you admission to a college for degree class. That is the difficulty.
Next question from Mandar Karnik. What is the antidote for Kerala problem?
There is no much antidote, because only administration has to interfere. Generally, people will say the standard reply will be, oh, make everybody aware of the danger of Islam, this, that. Everybody is aware of the danger of Islam. And the ordinary citizen let me say that, ordinary citizen is incapable of confronting Islam. It is tremendous violence, weapons, money, and political power. Everything together. Islam is a big imperialism. Individuals cannot do much about that except for this type of programs or some demonstrations. That's so basically it has to be an action from the state and the courts in unison. Now, what happens is generally, if you charge a case against this slogan now, it is very difficult to stand in the court because it depends on the judgment of the judge who is sitting there. He can very well say that no name of Christians or Hindus were not told. A boy shouting some nonsense. This is not an offense. He can just dismiss your case. So it depends on the administration, the police, and the judiciary to tackle this. Otherwise, we are heading for a civil war, which is not good for anybody, uh, not even Hindus or Christians. It is not that Muslims will come and kill you, but it is not good for the country that a portion of the country is under civil war. It's not affordable in India now.
So before we go to the next question, I want you to touch upon one thing about the evolving politics of Kerala, because we now know that the son-in-law of Pinarayi Vijayan is a Muslim. I think he has some links with some organizations also, if I'm not wrong, and how the CPIM is being eaten from inside. Could you please touch upon that, sir?
Now, CPM is already swallowed by jihadis. CPM is putting a brave front in TV discussions only. On the ground level, every action is controlled by jihadis. Nobody has seriously condemned this happening or the slogan shouting in Alleppey from CPM. Where is Sitaram Yechuri, Brinda Karat, or Pinarayi Vijayan? Pinarayi Vijayan is the Home Minister also. He is silent on this issue. So don't ever imagine that CPM is going to come out of the clutches of jihadis now. Their catch on CPM is so comprehensive and deep. CPM cannot come back from this Popular Front influence. It's gone. They have reached a point of no return. I had hopes in CPM. In 2012, I wrote an article which created a big problem in Kerala. I said CPM and RSS will have to become friends. We were enemies for quite some time, and there were some reasons also historically. But now there are no reasons why RSS and CPM should be enemies. So let us end this enmity. That was my article. And it was widely discussed. So many people said this fellow should be thrown out of RSS. How can you align with CPM, etc.? CPM said you first, you should not subscribe to Golwalkar, then only we will be able to make friends with you. So many things. Even the matter went up to Sir Singh Chalak Mohanji Bhagwat. Press asked him, see, such an article has appeared. He said, yes, I know that man. He says for himself, he wrote his opinion, so what? This was his reaction. So what I am saying is, I had hope that CPM will one day realize their mistake. And they were realizing in 2011, 2012, they were realizing, it was CPM Chief Minister V.S. Achuthanandan. He told that in the coming 50 years, Kerala will become a Muslim majority state. That is what Popular Front is planning. This was openly told by CPM leader, and he was the Chief Minister at that time. So I welcomed it. I knew CPM is trying to change. But the speed and stealth with which Popular Front and the Islamic jihadis acted, they could capture CPM before saner elements in CPM assert themselves. Abhi to gaya. I don't expect any change in CPM now. Very sorry. I had all hopes because I don't condemn a political party on historical reasons. Purane zamane mein aisa kiya, waisa. Theek hai. Let us bury the past and live in the present. That is real politics. So I thought these people will understand. They were understanding. Still, there are CPM leaders who understand the dangers of Islamic fundamentalism, but they are less in numbers. Therefore, they are unable to assert. If they assert too much, they will go out of the party on some other ground, on some drinking charges or womanizing charges will come against this man, and this man will be thrown into oblivion. That is the situation.
Next question, please. Mr. Lee again, what factors prevent a Nair-Ezhava Hindu political coalition in Kerala? Why is this so hard to achieve? Which factions are to blame to keep these two communities apart?
See, these two communities have their own fault lines and their leadership ego, etc. Several attempts were made to bring them together. They came together also, right from 1957. They came together several times. They even agreed to dissolve all their individual organizational rights and convert it into a common organization, Hindu Munnani, etc. But that also failed. Partly there is politics also. In fact, 90% it is politics, because if these major two communities come together, they become a big vote bank. So the strategy which Kerala politicians adopted was keep the Christians and Muslims consolidated. It is easy to consolidate them, and divide or fragmentize Hindu society. This game is going on till day, and the Ezhava and Nair alliance, etc., is a casualty of this politics.
Next question, please. I think that's all the questions we have. There's one more. Abhinav wants to know, can president's rule be imposed in Kerala and converted into a union territory?
Very difficult as of now. You see, president's rule is applying Article 356. If you use Article 356 and throw a democratically elected government and declare presidential rule in Kerala, immediately it will be challenged in Supreme Court. Supreme Court, in all likeliness, will stay that proclamation, because it has become very difficult now to dismiss a government. Supreme Court has put several riders that you have to pass the dissolution in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha within so many days, etc. So many riders have been put, which we have seen in, I think,
Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh? 2014.
No, before that, I think Uttarakhand government was somewhere. Anyway, it's very difficult. Ever since the famous or infamous Bombay case, the Supreme Court has asserted too much on this dismissing governments. The last dismissal was en masse dismissal by Narasimha Rao. He dismissed 5 BJP governments in a single day after the Ayodhya.
Babri Masjid demolition.
After that, there is no much application of 356 because it has become legally complicated. The problem in India is the unelected judiciary. It has become a de facto government now. You see, you cannot demolish an illegal structure with a bulldozer. Supreme Court will issue a stay order. In this type of cases, Supreme Court should not entertain at all. They must, if your house or your compound wall is being demolished by the corporation, you should go to the municipal court and get a stay on that. It is not the Supreme Court issuing stay order in demolishing an illegal structure without even going into the merits whether it is illegal or legal structure. The Supreme Court has reduced itself to the level of a joker sometimes, and to the level of some sort of hate India representatives. That is why they put a hold on 124A, section 124A. You know, they blocked the widening of road in Dehradun where Indian military want to carry their missiles. The road was small, narrow. They want to widen the road. And this Andolan GV, he went to Supreme Court, and immediately Supreme Court issued a stay order. Indian Army's widening of the road is being stayed by Supreme Court once a writ petition is coming in front of them. I don't know how, see, what authority they have. They put their hand in every issue, every small petty issue, and where major issues are pending with them for years together. Anyway, that is another headache.
Yes, indeed. And viewers, this brings us to a close on today's program. Much to think about. And we're sad that we keep telling these things. It's now 2 years or 3 years that PGurus has been consistently warning our viewers of the dangers lurking, and this government too. And I respectfully disagree with Mohandas ji that there is not much the center can do. The center can do a lot. I don't believe the NIA is staffed properly. I'm not saying enough. I'm saying properly. I don't believe the CBI is staffed properly. I don't believe the ED is staffed properly, because today's crimes are a lot more nuanced, a lot more layered, a lot more carefully, complicatedly constructed. It is difficult for a generalist to go and look into it and say, yes, a crime has happened here. This is just my personal call. And I've seen Indian politics now for 5-6 years very, very closely. And you all know my record. I just feel bad that this great Bharat Varsha of ours is now being killed by 1,000 cuts. Thanks for watching. I don't mean to leave it on a doomsday note, but the change has to come from within. Unless the moderate Muslims speak up and say that some of these things are wrong and we are not for it and we are for the country, that nationalistic feeling has to come. And we can come up with any number of solutions. We all know that you ban PFI, they'll morph and become into a new unit. Already the top leadership probably has gone underground. This is known. If you had to do it, you have to do it quickly. So anyway, thank you very much, Mohandas ji. And please remember, viewers, Mohandas ji and I are walking with a target painted on our backs. We are saying, for the sake of the country, we will say what has to be said. You already know that there was another episode where Sri Mohandas ji said about how a PFI spokesperson gave a subtle threat. Okay, so this is not, I'm not making it up. So please take this thing very seriously. Please make sure that this message spreads as far and wide as possible. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you. Namaste. See you again.